Okay, so we have 2 lessons for today. So the first lesson will be on the nominals. You will love that lesson. And then the second lesson will be on the trappers. So after we discuss the lesson on the nominals, we will stop the recording and we will upload that recording over on the YouTube page there. By the way, we had a lecture on the perfect tense. I think that was 2 weeks ago, so that has been uploaded. So that's video number 33. Okay, so if you want to look back on that lesson, it's on the YouTube channel. So these are public videos, so you don't need permission from me. Okay, nominalization, agreement within the nominal phrase. Nominals.
Surgeon.
Yes, Sir Ed. Am I on recording?
Share screen, surgeon.
Oh my God. Okay. So I didn't forget the recording, but I forgot the share screen.
Yeah.
Okay. I always tend to forget something. There, Roger is joining us. Okay. Wait, I gotta admit Roger first. There. Okay, share screen. There. Okay. So, nominals are nouns or noun phrases. There. The linguistic term is nominals. Okay. And of course, nominals have to agree with verbs. They're the verbals. So you have nominals, you have verbals. And that is now your classic subject verb agreements. But the lesson for today is agreement within the nominal phrase. Okay. So, common mistakes at IELTS Advanced, Cambridge University Press 2007. And from grammar to fluency in 30 days. Oh, okay. Okay, it's been a long time. I've created this PowerPoint from way back. All right. So before going to the lessons, I wanna involve you first. So rates vary depending on standard of accommodation you choose. Is there anything missing? You think rates vary depending on standard of accommodation you choose?
Article, right?
The article,
Unless,
the.
yeah.
So rates vary depending on the standard of accommodation you choose. The standard of accommodation you choose.
Rates of what?
Uh, mm, Wait. I would assume these are like rates for hotels or
I
like
think room rates, sir.
room rates. Yeah, room rates there. And then diet high in cholesterol is bad for heart. Oh my God, that's so Saudi, man.
That's for the heart.
Bad for the heart. And then what else? A diet. A diet high in cholesterol is bad for the heart. Cholesterol by itself has no article. So some nouns have the article. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
So like
Yes.
diet will have the article a diet. Cholesterol has what you call the zero article. In heart has the article the. Okay, a diet high in cholesterol is bad for the heart. Just to give you an idea, guys. We only have one heart, so we use the heart. We only have one earth, so we use the earth. Do you follow? So more or less, like we only have one young generation. So we say the younger generation and the older generation. So the is really just to give you a preliminary idea. The is really the article that we use when we refer to something specific. It's a specific. It's a definite article. Like uh, we only have one private sector. So we call it the private sector. And we only have one public sector, which is the government. So we use the for those nominals. Anyway, she focused on the role of a family in a child's education. Is there anything wrong or nothing?
Depends on the role of the family in
in a
child.
child's education. Um, it
In
can
the
work, right?
role,
So the role, a family, a child's education. Okay. So now you can see that the reason why the writer used the role is because the writer is referring to one specific role. But a family, it can be any family. That's why the writer used a.
Mm.
And a child's education, it can be any child, unspecified. That's why the writer used a child's education. But if the writer said she focused on the role of the family in the child's education, then you know that the writer is referring to a specific family and a specific child. So can you feel the difference between a and the? No? A family and a child and the family and the child. Um, for example, I ask you, can you write me an essay? There, an essay. So the assumption there, since I used the article "an," is we're not referring to a specific essay yet,
Non-specific, no?
non-specific. No? And then tomorrow I will now follow up. Where's the essay? Now I used the. So the reason why I use the is because I am now referring to a specific essay, which we discussed yesterday. I hope you somehow feel the difference between a and an and the. Okay. Internet is one of the most significant inventions of our time. Any guesses? Internet is one of
Mm. The internet.
the
The
internet. The
The
internet.
internet.
So we only have
The
one
internet.
internet, guys. There's only one internet. So we always proceed it with the all the time. If, however, if internet is used as an adjective, like internet access sucks in the Philippines, there. So that's when you drop the. Okay, internet access. But if I'm referring to the nominal internet, then the. Okay. We were unhappy about quality of the food available.
the quality.
The quality
The
of the
quality.
food available. Last year, the airlines saw a 20% improvement in delays. Okay.
In the delays at
Okay.
20%.
So, because there is no insertion of the article
Mm.
the here, then the writer is referring to some general delay, not specified there.
Yes.
That's why there is no article the. We cannot use a or an because you shouldn't use a or an for plural nouns. That's why the only choice is whether you have the or zero article. So since the delays were not specified, then what you have is the zero article. The reason why the writer used the over here is because the writer is referring to a specific airline. Maybe discussed previously there. That's why the writer used the over there. Uh, Doctors always stress importance of of balanced diet.
Yes.
The importance
The importance
of
of
a balanced.
a balanced diet. Uh, the reason why there's no the over here is because the writer is referring to an unspecified group of doctors.
Their stories.
We cannot use a or an because you cannot use a or an for plurals. So the only choice you have is the or zero. So you must be somehow inferring that we have four kinds of articles in English. You know the power of the article in English, right? It impacts. It's not like Tagalog. Later, I'm going to the details of that. But the article features of Tagalog are weak compared to English, wherein a wrong use of an article impacts meaning significantly there. Okay. The introduction of a computerization led to an increase in unemployment. Is there anything you see wrong?
The unemployment. The
Uh,
introduction.
yeah, if the writer is specific, referring to a specific form of unemployment, and yes, you should have the. Anything else?
I think, is it okay to omit something, sir?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Should we omit something or add?
I think we should omit something here.
The introduction of computerization?
The introduction of
No.
computerization led to an increase in unemployment. Okay, there's now a concept I'd like to introduce to you. We now have what we call abstract nouns. So, like for example, climate change, or global warming, or urbanization, or feminism, or love, or hate, or all of these are abstracts. The abstract nouns. So the thing about abstracts is that you cannot precede them by a or an. So it's similar to plural nouns. You cannot precede plural nouns with a or an. Similarly with abstracts, you cannot precede them with a or an. So the only choices you have are the or zero article. So you use the when you're referring to something specific, but you use zero article when you're referring to a general phenomena. So we can delete the a over here. The introduction of computerization there led to an increase in unemployment. Also no article. So you're talking about a general. Can you imagine how articles reflect generality and specificity in English? Oh my God, there's such a thing. And these small words really make the difference. So if I say, can you write the essay? So that means I'm referring to one essay that I must have asked you to write before. Can you write the essay? But if I say, can you write an essay? That means I'm referring to any kind of essay as long as you write an essay, something like that. We in task one writing, this has very strong implications. Can you lend me a money? What feels wrong here, guys? Can you lend me a money? Can you lend me faith? Can you lend me a money?
Should be the specific amount or
Something's wrong with it.
Can you
Remove the A.
Remove the
The
a.
money. The money.
remove the A?
So now I will introduce you to another kind of nominal. So far we have discussed plurals. You cannot use a or an for a plural. And we have introduced abstract nouns. You cannot use a or an for abstracts. Now you are introduced to the concept of the mass noun, like money. So one of the features of mass nouns is that no matter how many of them you refer to, they always remain singular. So like money, even if I had the money of faith, I still call it money. Even if I had the money of the person who stole from PhilHealth,
My God.
we still call it money. Whether I had 1 peso or I had 1 billion pesos, we still call it money. That is the mass noun. Um, they can never be preceded by a or an. Okay. Any questions so far? What are the other kinds of mass nouns? Like liquids, water. Can I have a water?
sugar,
Yeah,
coffee.
water, coffee, cola.
Food.
Mm,
Air.
Powdered
the
Tea.
sugar.
liquids, liquids,
Okay.
grains, like
Yes. Can you give me?
rice, Diba, how many, no matter how many grains of rice we are talking about, it's still rice. It's not never rises.
In the east.
It's just in the east. That's the sun, but that's not rice.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. There. Mass nouns, no? So, I'd like to make an analogy, no? Uh, there are people who never studied IELTS, and there are people who did study IELTS. The difference between the two is those who studied IELTS are suddenly educated, aware, informed. There. You are the
Mm-hmm.
mass nouns. you are you do not conform. You have your own rules. like I have no plural form. I'm always singular, no matter how many of us there are. You are unique. I am the only one. I'm always singular. You are the mass nouns. So, can you imagine if you were to write a task one that details the process where water is recycled? There, water is a mass noun. So, if you had nominal problems, then you would go label water with A. Uh, First, a water is a water is put inside a filter, and then a water is now. So you cannot use a or an for mass nouns. You can only use the or zero. You use the when you refer to something specific, and you use zero when you refer to something in general. So if I say, Ed, can you lend me money? So there is no specific amount yet. That's why I used zero article. Can you lend me money? And then the next day, I will go back to Ed. Ed, do you have the money? So I now use the because I'm referring to now a specific amount of money. Can you
Sir,
imagine the impact? Yeah, Jack.
sir, what if we ask her, can you lend me some money? Tama, is it still acceptable?
Yeah, it's another form of
Plural.
uh yeah, it's another form of generality there.
Plurality.
So these some money. These are mm, these are adjectives. Some money. Yeah. And they somehow take the place, the the position where articles are. That's why we cannot use some together with the articles there, or any. Uh, can you give me any money that you have there? Uh, can you lend me all? Can you lend me some all any more? Can you lend me more money that you have there? Okay. Then please pass a salt and pepper. So grains. We cannot use a or an for salt and pepper. These are grains. Mass nouns still. Ooh, now we're referring to another kind of nominal. I think this is the last kind of nominal that we will be highlighting that cannot be preceded by a or an. So these are now, like I live in a Pasig, near a Pasig River. That's so Saudi, man. Okay. So these are now what we call as proper nouns. So proper nouns are names, names of people, animals, uh, places, entities, names. They are always capitalized. Proper nouns. So we cannot precede a proper noun with a or an. There. We can only use the article the or zero article. So for example, Jack is a name, right? So I have a student, his name is a Jack.
Mm.
We cannot use a or
Uh,
an for Jack. We can only use zero article like his name is Jack, and we can only use the when I'm referring to like have you seen the Jack essay there? Do you follow? Have you seen the Jack scores there? So far we have had plural nouns cannot be preceded by a or an, only by the or zero. And we have had abstracts cannot be preceded by a or an, only by the or zero. And then we have had mass nouns cannot be preceded by a or an, only by the and zero. And finally we have the proper nouns. And then, don't worry, I'll send you this PowerPoint. There have been changes in the relationship between teacher and student. So could you correct that, please?
Between the teacher and the student.
Between the teacher and the student. What if you're referring to generalized, not a specific teacher or student? What do we now do?
There have been changes in the relationship
We're not referring to one specific teacher or one specific student.
between a teacher and
Between
Between a teacher and a student. Or alternately, we can also pluralize so that we can eliminate the a or an. There have been changes in the relationship between teachers and students. There. Okay. So it's either you can add the a or an, or so the only specific article is the. The rest are generalized. There. In the end, we're about to end this slide. Rice is so expensive there. So rice is a mass noun, no problem. If I say the rice is so expensive, what am I now referring to?
specific rice.
A specific kind of rice or a brand of rice. Something we talked about before.
The
So
organic
KFC,
rice.
Yeah, the organic rice.
KFC rice.
Okay. Right. That's like 25 pesos for a small
Diba?
for a small scoop of rice. Okay.
Papadayat ka talaga eh.
Grabe.
Only rice yun.
No, just one scoop yun eh. 25 bucks. Actually, even in
Expensive.
McDo has even a smaller scoop. She's beginning to appreciate classical music. So music is a mass noun there. So again, for mass nouns, we can never use a or an. You can only use the or zero article. Use the when you refer to a specific kind of music. Use zero when you refer to music in general. There.
Appreciate the classical.
There. Okay, countries. I think you should write this down. Countries like the US, the UK, and the Philippines are always preceded by the. Uh, apart from these, you always have the for the United Arab Emirates. You always have the for the United, anything with United.
How about for Australia, sir? Why is that there's no preceding article?
Yeah, for most countries, no articles.
Mm.
So this kind of violated the rule for proper nouns. Remember, proper nouns are names. So we're not supposed to have we're not supposed to have the for any of these proper nouns, but these are really exceptions. So most countries, they just don't have any article there. The Bahamas, the Netherlands, Europe, there. But most likely the US and the UK is gonna come out in a task one, or the Ivory Coast. Very few countries. And it so happens that the Philippines is one of those countries that has to have the article the all the time. Don't forget, please. Huh? So I come from the
The
Philippines.
Philippines.
I was born in the Philippines. Uh, I don't think I want to go back to the Philippines. Something like
Philippines, my Philippines. So is it because it ends with like letter S?
Yeah, actually, I don't think it's because of that. Some suggested that maybe because the Philippines is an
Uh,
archipelago, that's why there are many islands. So that's why maybe we should have
yeah,
the. But remember, the UK itself is an I mean, Indonesia, for example, that's
the
the world's
United.
biggest archipelago, right? Wala eh. Indonesia lang eh, no?
Mm,
And Japan is an archipelago. But we just say Japan. So like for Asia, yeah,
Japan's.
Japan's. For Asia, from north to south, you have Japan, North Korea, South Korea, Taiwan, China, and then the Philippines, and then you have Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Brunei, lahat yung walang articles, no? Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, New Guinea, Australia, New Zealand, all of them have zero articles, except for the Philippines. I'm so
ah.
proud. Asia
Per
yun.
according sa book dito, sir, kay we use the with plural names of people and places. So maybe Philippines is plural. Just kidding. I'm not sure.
The
Plural
Philippines.
names. Ah, I see.
Yeah. So na we use
Yeah.
the with plural names of people and
Parang,
places. Like the
uh,
Johnsons when you add S sa mga apelyido,
right, right.
the United States,
The
ganun.
United States, but the United Kingdom, yeah, the Netherlands, the Bahamas. Bakit yung the Ivory Coast, no?
The Mitchells, yung ano po dito, sir, yung mountain
The
ranges like
Manalos, yan.
the Rocky Mountains, the Rockies, yeah.
Yeah,
Mga ganun.
yeah. So that could explain it. But some of them are not really plural, but maybe we can make them the exception. Uh,
Memorize na lang yung sir.
yeah. Anyways, just a few countries. So just don't make the mistake for the Philippines because that's so embarrassing. Okay. All right. And then that's a nice lesson. Uh, Lastly, we all benefit from development of new technologies.
From the development, we all
Okay.
benefit.
So if you refer to a
We
specific
all
kind of
benefit.
development, then you can put the we all benefit from the development of new technologies. But if you're referring to development in general, then okay. So articles, the, a, and the zero article.
Sir,
Yeah.
yung sabi mo na the United Kingdom, but
Mhm.
we use the in names with Republic, Kingdom, and States.
Okay.
Ah,
So
kaya
the
pala.
Republic of blah blah blah.
The
The Kingdom of I
is
see. And
the United
states.
States. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. The Ivory Coast. Yun na lang paki. Kindly figure out for the Ivory Coast. Maybe it's because it's two words. That's why the Ivory Coast. Anyway, or
Meron din dito, sir. We use with the names of oceans, seas, rivers, gulfs, and canals. Additional information lang po.
I see. The Pasig River, the Potomac River,
Yeah.
the I see. Okay.
Mm.
Cities follow the same rules. They don't have articles. So New York, uh, Los Angeles, like in Manila, Pasig. Can you name the 16 cities and municipalities in Metro Manila?
Patay
Las
na.
Piñas,
Las Piñas,
Muntinlupa,
Alabang, Muntinlupa. Ay,
Las
mali.
Piñas, Alabang, Muntinlupa, Taguig, Pateros,
Parañaque,
Parañaque,
Pasay,
Taguig, Pateros, Parañaque, uh,
Ortigas, charot.
Pasay, Makati, Ortigas,
Ortigas.
Pasay, Makati, Manila, Quezon City, Cainta, never mind.
Don't specific.
Navotas,
North Caloocan, South Caloocan,
Nabotas, Caloocan,
Malabon, Navotas,
Malabon, Valenzuela,
Marikina,
Marikina. We're forgetting
Valenzuela,
Marikina.
Marikina.
Yeah, I think the only municipality there is Pateros, right? Yeah. Okay. We were able to name them all. My God, I'm so proud. Collaborative learning. So we're talking of the, which is the definite article, and we're talking of a or an, which is the indefinite article, and so is the zero article there. So remember, um, we will try to eliminate a or an so that this is now not gonna mess up our minds. Okay. So please do not use a or an for mass nouns or non-count nouns. So rice, water, salt, pepper, music, money. You gotta speak British already. Yeah. I had speaking one-on-one with Patricia yesterday, Patricia Sequina. Hi, Pat. And throughout, I was talking British, and she kept saying, "What's that again, sir?" And I kind of advise her, "You better watch Harry Potter
And Peppa Pig.
and Peppa Pig." Music is food for the soul. Ooh, okay. I see food. Can you imagine that food? A food. We cannot say a food. So food is like a mass noun. Music is a mass noun there. I'm going to the land of milk and honey. So milk is a mass noun and honey, honey is a mass noun there. Okay. And you cannot use a or an for proper nouns, which are names. So I'm taking review classes at Help Force 1. So that's where I used to teach there and located at Palisloy Centrum in Baguio City. So these are proper nouns. Help Force 1 is a proper noun. Palisloy Centrum and Baguio City is a proper noun. I watched the movie The Social Network, which is a documentary on the founding of Facebook. And I don't know if you've seen that movie, nominated for Best Picture,
The
the
social
social
network.
the social network. So apparently, Mark Zuckerberg and his team initially named Facebook the Facebook there, and then came this new partner, and then his only contribution to the team was actually to recommend that you drop the just Facebook. It's cleaner. So now we have Facebook. You don't use the first Facebook. It's a proper noun. Okay, and then yeah, maybe you can use the for Facebook when you're referring to Facebook as an adjective, like the Facebook algorithm there. Do you follow? And we
Yes.
cannot use a or an for abstract nouns like love, death, liberty, hate, knowledge. I think you should listen to the speech of Biden. Biden apparently loves poems. That's why his speech is like a poem. Okay, so a lot of abstracts in his speech, and then it's just like the Jack Manalo style, he throws an adjective or he throws a word, and then he throws the synonym of it, and another synonym of it, and another synonym of it. They're all the
And
same.
it scored.
Yeah, that's
And it scored to band 9.
yeah,
Band
yeah.
band aid. Band
Jack
aid.
scored band eight
Oh.
with that style.
Ganto, ganto. Yan.
Yeah.
Band aid.
I I think you should. Yeah, you should listen.
Chanel.
Yeah, Sana L. Okay, what's Band Aid, Jack?
Hindi, di ba sabi kasi band 8.
Band Aid.
Sabi ko, hindi, band 8 lang yun, band 8.
Band Aid.
Okay,
Okay.
for
So Band Aid is a proper noun. It's a name of a brand. And then so where are we? Where are we? What happened? Okay, give me liberty, give me death. And where is the love? So that song by Black Eyed Peas, where is the love? So they're referring to a specific kind of love. So far, we cannot use Aaron for all of these. And then we cannot use Aaron for plural noun. So in fact, I really recommend that you pluralize. For example, I see a lot of essays. For example, the topic is all about mobile phones, correct? Mobile phones. I mean, you're referring to a lot of mobile phones. You're writing an essay on computers. You gotta pluralize all of those nominals, guys. Is that clear? Because you're referring to a lot of computers. It's generalized. So kindly pluralize them. There's no, shouldn't put here and it's just a zero article. Okay. Uy, kindly mute first. Kindly mute. Okay.
Yung Wednesday. Dumating
So
ako.
there. Let's just go through one round. Okay, one more
Hindi kami
slide and then
natin
I'll
dito eh.
send this to
Kaya
you.
ko lang ako.
And then I'm now going to wait, guys, kindly mute first. Somebody's
Ay,
not on mute.
yung something dun sa schedule.
Oh, there. Okay. So could you correct this for me, please? There. Okay. And then we will go into the implications, like I will show you some tasks. Okay. The text below contains over 20 errors relating to article use and or capitalization of words. Can you spot them? Okay. All right. UN High Commissioner for Refugees was established on 14 December 1950. It was set up to protect refugees throughout world. This is so Arabic. And to help in resolution of refugee problems. It has its headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, but the organization has a staff of around 6,540 in 116 countries. Its main aim is to safeguard rights and well-being of refugees. Large proportion of the 20.8 million people which UNHCR helps are in third world, especially in countries in Africa and Asia. More than a quarter of the world's refugees, however, are in Europe and United States. Oh my God, many of them seeking asylum. Whoa. I pity the refugees, people who have no countries. So could you make the corrections, please?
The UN.
The
The
UN
UN
High
are
Commissioner for Refugees was established on 14
then capitalized letter D
capitalized December, yeah, 1950. It was set up to protect refugees
throughout
throughout
and the world, a
the
small
world,
letter
small w,
W
and to help
in
in
resolution
the
of
resolution
In the resolution.
of
refugee
refugee
problems.
problems. It has its headquarters in
Big letter
capitalized
G
Geneva and
and
capitalized
Switzerland.
Switzerland. But
Switzerland.
the organization,
Small letter O.
small letter O, has a staff of around 6,540. I think I want to work for UNHCR because they are headquartered in Geneva. Okay.
It's a
Vice
tough
land,
job,
marami.
sir.
Yeah, it's a tough job, but I'm in
Yeah.
Geneva. Okay. I mean, who cares about the refugees? I'm in Geneva, man. Anyway, there. Um, its main aim is to safeguard rights, the rights and well-being, the rights and the well-being of refugees.
The
Of
rights and
the
well-being
Well-being
of
of
refugees.
refugees, which is a tough job, no? Because a lot of governments just shoo them away. And then what's this?
The
large
large,
A
proportion. The
large,
large
a
proportion.
large proportion.
yeah, we can use the large proportion
The large
of the
proportion of the
20.8 million. Oh my God, 20.8 million people are refugees, which
UNHCR help.
so
UNHCR
the UNHCR helps are in
help are in the
Third
third
world.
the third
world,
world.
The in the
especially
third world.
Philippines joke.
And let's capitalize no, the third world. By the way, why do they call us the third world? Who is the
Sir, I think
first? Who is the
I
first world?
I think
England.
sir, regarding the third world, I think that was
Mhm.
established before during the Cold Wars with the NATO. The
Yeah,
first world included the Allied forces, and then the
right.
second world are the tawag dito, the
Which one?
communist parties in with Russia and the United Communist Party,
I see.
and the third world includes the world, I mean
Everybody
the
else.
countries, yes. So I think
Mm,
it's I don't know if it's a misconception today that the third world they've been using the third world as a
mhm.
noun for those developing countries like Africa and us included.
Yeah.
Refers to
I think
countries like ano,
the appropriate word for us are I think progressing countries, I guess.
Mm, yeah. Very nice.
Hello.
But
Hello.
Nice to
yeah.
know.
Any questions?
Hello, sir. Sorry I'm late.
Yeah. See,
Sir,
Hannah is with us. Hannah, you should talk to Stephanie. She passed from Cebu.
oh yeah, that's it. I chatted you a while ago. I think you haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
Sir, What is the topic for today? I'm sorry I'm late. I haven't catch up.
Yeah, it's
Just got home.
that's your problem.
Oh, you're so mean. My exam is next week.
You better message to your classmates and find out by yourself.
Oh my god,
We're
this is a
talking
mess.
about nominal flaws. There.
Alright.
But don't worry, after this, we're going into the implication.
Okay.
Pero
I will
Seti, your answer is actually quite believable. But as far as I know, the first word really refers to. Was that Sedi who answered it? Sedi, was it you? Sedi,
No,
was that
sir.
you? Actually,
No,
Vic.
sir.
It was Vic.
Yes, yes, me. It's
Yes,
big.
Vic.
Yes,
As far as I know, Vic, the first world, of course, refers to Europe. Remember, throughout civilization, it was Europe which suddenly rose as superior to all the other civilizations. We're referring to the Egyptian, Chinese, or Middle Eastern civilizations. And then they suddenly began to colonize the world. So, you know, they suddenly began to get the resources from all the other countries from Africa. Can you imagine that? Latin America, etc., etc. Uh, the second world is actually now called as the New World, which refers to the Americas. That is the second world, supposedly. And now, going further, we now have the third world. But the Americas have since risen to become the most powerful country in the world. So, of course, we cannot call them the second world. They are now part of the first world. So, we do not have a second world. We just have the first world countries and the third world countries, which unfortunately we belong to. Okay? As far as I know. And then especially in countries in Africa and Asia, capitalize those continents. More than a quarter of the world's refugees, however, are in capitalized Europe and the United States. Many of them seeking asylum. Maybe the refugees in the US are those that came from Mexico or those Latin American countries who walked thousands of kilometers north in order to arrive at the border with the United States. And so they saw this wall that Donald Trump built there. Okay. And then what Donald Trump did is they separated the parents from their children. And so now 500 children are orphans. They cannot find the parents for over 500 children. What a nice policy. Okay, there. Let's skip this part, guys. Okay, let's
Think
go into the implications. So, there. I will show you the task that I assigned you. There,
it's
there. So, okay. This is essay number 11. There.
oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that some of you may have written already. Some of you are just about to write it. So essay 11 is where 11
Yourself.
onwards is where we begin to introduce task 1. So the diagram below shows the process by which bricks are manufactured for the building industry. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features where comparisons where relevant. So this is what you call a process task. Process tasks, they always involve an illustration and an arrow indicating the step-by-step process. So you have these arrows over here, that arrow over there, and then that arrow down there, there. So that is a process task. So compared to, for example, pie charts or tables, process tasks are easier because you can just simply describe the process as you go through each step by step, right? Goes
Mm.
from this to this to this to this, there. But the thing you have to watch out for are the nominal flaws. So all of these that you see, like digger, clay, these are all nominals. They are all nouns. Metal grid, roller, sand, water. Those are mass nouns, guys. So wire cutter, bricks, mold, drying oven, 24 to 40. All of these are nominals. So remember now the rule for nominals: general and specific. Okay. For example, when you mention the digger for the first time, it's the first time you ever mentioned the digger in your essay. it is general. When you mention it the second time onwards, it is suddenly specific. Do not forget. When you mention clay for the first time, it is general. But when you mention it the second time onwards, it suddenly becomes specific. You now have to use the article the. Okay. So for generalized nominals, general articles, you have three choices. Which articles are these again, if I may check? What are the three indefinite articles?
A on
A an
And
zero article.
here.
or the zero article. We use the zero article for four kinds of nouns.
Abstract.
Abstract nouns,
I forgot.
go go go. Collaborative learning.
Past
Mass
nouns.
Mass
noun.
nouns.
Um,
Mm,
What
Count
else? What else?
noun.
Uh,
Count noun.
non-count
It.
nouns are mass nouns. Yeah.
Mass nouns,
Yeah, mass
na,
nouns or non-count
proper
nouns.
noun.
Proper nouns. Yeah. So I don't see any proper nouns here. And the final one is
Countable.
Plural nouns.
plurals. There. We
Mm,
cannot use a or an for mass nouns, abstract nouns, plurals, and what's the last one?
Mass
Proper
noun.
nouns. We cannot use a or an. Forgotten already. We cannot use a or an for mass nouns, proper nouns, abstract nouns, or plural nouns. There. Okay. So with that in mind, we see that clay is a mass noun. Sand and water is a mass noun. Metal grid roller, these are common nouns. Okay. So you know it's a mass noun when you cannot pluralize it. That's one of the features of mass noun. So you cannot say clays, you cannot say sands, and you cannot say waters. So they are mass. But the rest, like digger, diggers, yeah, possible. So it's a common noun. Metal grid, metal grids, roller, rollers, mold, molds, wire cutters, yeah, drying ovens, kiln, kilns, cooling chambers. Packaging is an abstract noun. Delivery is an abstract noun. Okay. So this is the rule, guys. No? So when you mention a nominal for the first time in a process task like this, you need to use generalized articles, a, an, or zero. And when you mention it from the second time onwards, you're now using the. Please do not forget. Okay. Can you imagine if you have problems in nominals? I mean, you're just gonna have a 5.5 or a band 5 task 1 there. But if you have a 5.5 task 1, that's okay. If you have a 6 band 7 task 2 or even a 6.5 task 2, your overall score is still 6.5. Okay. So that's why I'm pounding a lot on task 2. So we will exemplify the illustration shows the process by which bricks are bricks go through a manufacturing process for various industries there. And then we'll have an overview statement. Overall, the steps, wait, the process involves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. For the overview for process tasks, you just summarize the number of steps. Yeah. Involves 7 steps from extraction to
Third
production,
question, sir.
to yes, Sir Ed, to baking to
Sand and
packaging.
water is not included on the steps.
It is part of the steps. So like you put the extracted clay here and then you sift, you filter the clay so that the finer particles fall into a roller and then you add a sand
Water
and a
and sand.
water. You add sand and water there. You add sands and waters. You cannot.
Maraming sand.
Marami kasing sand.
So
Yeah, just sand and water. Mass nouns. So they are mass nouns. You cannot pluralize them. You cannot use a or an. Okay, so this is how it goes. Ed, did I answer your question? This is where I'd like to point out when you begin discussing the process. So when you mention something for the first time, that's generalized. When you mention it for
okay.
the second time, that's suddenly specific. So to begin with, a digger is used to extract clay. Zero article. So these are all generalized. Generalized yung clay, the digger is generalized. That's why we use an or zero. From certain appropriate areas. And then now I will mention the clay for the second time onwards. And we now need to use the extracted clay. Do you understand? It suddenly becomes specific. Is then placed in over. We'll mention the metal grid for the first time. So general. A metal grid which filters the said clay um, such that finer particles would drop down into a. First time we'll mention the roller. Roller. Is that clear, people?
Such that
So
Yes, sir.
we have just started the discussion. So we are using a lot of generalized articles. uh, Towards the end of the essay, we are now beginning to use more of the specific, the definite article the. Is that clear? Would drop down into a roller. So I mentioned finer particles. This is a plural noun. That's why there is no a or an. It's the zero article. So now I will mention it again. The particles, do you follow? Do you follow? Are now mixed with, so first time I will be mentioning sand and water. So generalized article, right? It's either a, an, or zero. But sand and water are mass nouns, so we cannot use a or an. Are now mixed with sand and water to produce uh, what do you call this now? Mm, The raw material
Molds.
to
Molds.
produce the initial raw material used for bricks there. Okay. Mm, the said bricks are now formed. So if you notice when I mentioned bricks for the first time, plural, generalized, no, zero article. The said bricks are now formed by either a mold, general ulit. Do you feel it? Do you feel it, guys? It's the interplay of the general a n or zero and the specific the. Oh my God, man. That's why if you have problems in all of these nominals, oh man, band 5. That's so many errors. The bricks are now formed by either a mold or a wire cutter, which produce the desired brick shapes and sizes there. So since I mentioned brick again, then there is the. And then we will mention the drying oven for the first time. There, the molded bricks are now placed in a drying oven for, so we mentioned the drying oven for the first time, so A or an, 24 to 48 hours. Afterwards, they are transferred. You know, I have a problem with it. A lot of Filipinos use it. It is transferred, but remember, you are talking about bricks. That's why that it is a problem. Take note of that kind of problem. They are transferred to a kiln, which is heated first to a moderate temperature of 200 degrees Celsius. Where is the degrees? I cannot find the degrees. I'll just put the Celsius to 980 degrees Celsius. Then to a higher temperature of 870 degrees Celsius to 1300 degrees Celsius.
Sir, I have a question.
Sige, Vic.
Regarding the 200C to 980C, can you just put 200 to 980 Celsius there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank
Ayun
you.
sabi, yeah, that's okay, Vic. Hold down the Alt key and on the numeric keypad on the right of the keyboard, type zero. Check, I don't have the numeric keypad or Alt plus 248. Never mind, Jack. It's okay. There. Okay. Yeah, I don't have that kind of keypad. I can't afford it much. And then somebody commented, oh, there, I saw the example. Okay. Before finally, before finally being transferred to A, first time I mentioned cooling chamber, uh, where the bricks are kept for 48 to 72 hours there. And then we are now ready for the final two steps there. With the completion of this stage, the bricks are now ready for packaging is in abstract and delivery there to various construction sites there. Okay. The interplays the and the a and zero and the. How many words is that? And then so 187 words. Okay. Let's just fix it, guys, and I will save this document and I'll send it to you. Uh, okay. So in writing task one, can we put degrees Celsius? Yeah, you can write it down. I mean, you can spell it out, degrees Celsius. That's okay. Uy, you're taking computer delivered, so I think you should better ask that question, right? Like, where do we find? Or maybe you can just spell it out, this degrees Celsius. If we cannot type the degrees, okay, there. Then, any questions? I'm just fixing the paragraphing. Any questions? Okay, there. Okay. Maybe in nursing schools they should ask students to create task one essays already, right? Right? I don't understand. Anyway, so let's do this one. This one is your second combined task. This is task 12 there. So for those of you who haven't had this yet, have not had. Oh, do you like my perfect tense? Those of you who haven't had, this task assigned yet, then good for you. This is now a map. The diagrams below show how an area called Meadowside is a proper noun, so zero article, developed from a village, a village into a suburb of the city of Fonton. There.
This
Okay. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay. Guys, the main features are all the nominals that you see. All those words, they are main features. So you have 1962 here, 1985 there, and you have now. So the tensing here is past. This one is also past, but you can also use the past perfect. Had grown, had developed, had progressed, and then the tensing here is in the present. So Meadowside Village, so that is a proper noun, no a or an, just zero article. Fonton as well. And then you see this road, right? After 23 years, the road has grown bigger. So you mentioned a road, but when it comes to the second map, it now becomes the road. And now there's another road that connects the two places. So this is the first time you mentioned them. So you use the general article. So uh, a connecting road has been built that links Meadowside and Fonton. And then when you go into the now, when you address the connecting road, you now use the. But since the hotel is new, the station is new, and the business park is new, you all use the general articles. A hotel, a station, and a business park there. Like, look at this. In 1985, a housing estate sprouted towards the western part of Meadowside Village. Across the housing estate, do you see how it played? When I mentioned it for the first time, a housing estate sprouted. And then when I mentioned it the second time, across the housing estate, a superstore can be found. And going further north, another leisure complex was constructed. But when you now mention these again over here, then you now have to use the. That is how it plays those nominals. So let's begin. Okay, there. Let's keep it close. The maps indicate the changes that have taken place. Perfect tense. If you were not in the lesson on the perfect tense, you can see that in video 33 in the YouTube channel. Okay, perfect tense. Indicate the changes that have taken place uh, in Meadowside Village and how it transformed simple past, present perfect tense. Mixing of tensing. This one is simple present indicate there. How it transformed from a small village to a suburb of Fonton City there. Okay, I imagine this must have been like Las Piñas, no, Jack? Las Piñas, Parañaque, Marikina, Pasig, and now, I mean, these places are now full-fledged cities, right? But before, they were just on the outskirts there. Okay, then let's have a overview overall. Massive developments in infrastructure as well as the establishment of various structures have been witnessed over the years, which contributed to the growth of a simple village into a major suburb there. Okay. If you follow the US elections, the countryside was won by Donald Trump, but Joe Biden won the cities and the suburbs where huge populations can be found. Okay. So it's like, if that election were to be held in the Philippines, like Donald Trump might win Quezon province, but Joe Biden won Metro Manila. So, I mean, there's no comparison there. Do you see? Okay. And then let's now go into the nominals. In 1962, there, Meadowside Village. Yeah, is there a question? Okay, we'll stay on mute, but Jaira is awake na kasi it's noisy. Okay. Will you stop me if there are questions, huh? Am I still, do I still have students?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We're
sir.
just listening.
Wala na, sir.
Wala,
We're focusing on the screen, sir.
everybody's on mute watching Netflix.
Nah.
The crown.
They're watching The Crown. Okay. So, in 1962, Meadowside Village
Looping.
there was how do we describe this small circle? Was a small area with one mm, access road running northwards from the west, while Fonton was separated uh, in the east with a train line. So first time we'll mention the train line, so we use the general article.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir
Sir,
Juni, how
separated.
Yeah.
can we choose the direction if it's west or east or north?
We will follow the map. So whatever the positioning of the elements in the map, so north is always assumed to be on top, south is in the bottom, west is to the
Oh, I
there.
see. Okay, okay.
So just memorize the never eat a spoiled waffle.
So how's that again? Never eat.
Never eat, never eat a spoiled waffle.
Okay. So,
Never eat.
Never eat a spoiled or the spoiled. No, it's a spoiled. I think.
Ah,
Never
spoiled
eat
never
a
eat a
spoiled
spoiled.
waffle.
waffle. I read it
So,
Oh,
somewhere because nahihirapan din ako about the direction, so I memorized it.
how I'm
mm,
going to apply that with this, you know?
mm. So never is north, eat is east, spoiled
So
is south, and waffle is west.
it's clockwise, diba, sir? North, east.
Mm,
Yeah, never eat a spoiled waffle.
northeast,
Clockwise, baka
south, and west.
counterclock.
I see.
Mm,
Uh,
okay, counterclockwise.
Oh, hindi po. I used to,
clockwise. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So you remember the clockwise. Never
that's a
eat a
nice
spoiled
tip.
waffle.
Never
Yeah,
eat a
yeah.
spoiled waffle. Never
Mhm.
eat
Eat.
a spoiled
Spoiled waffle.
waffle. There. Oh, that's so smart. North, east, south, west. But guys, I think you should go back to the lesson on the left and the right. The left represents the west, the right represents the east.
Mm,
The left represents progress, the right represents stagnation. That's how the world works. The left represents the young, the right represents the older generation. The left represents liberalism, the right represents conservatism. That's how the world works. Donald Trump represents the right, Joe Biden represents the left. Don't forget that lecture. I think
Okay,
that was,
sir.
yeah, the Democratic Party. These are the people who love immigrants. They love inclusivity. They go for the blacks, the Asians, the minorities, the Latinos, the Arabs. The
The Filipino.
women. Yeah. But now you suddenly have Donald Trump, and you're referring to the white male American, the top of the food chain, the very people who attacked the Capitol with their guns. That is how the world works. Do you follow? Do you follow? Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay,
So
okay.
we're all headed to the west because that is where the money is. That's where the future is. If you stay in the east, you're stuck in the past. I mean, progress is so slow. Do you follow? Do you follow? The left and the
Yes,
right.
sir.
Okay. All right. I guess that's how the world is. Like you look at the map, you look at the Middle East is right in the middle, right? And to the right of the Middle East is Asia. And then to the left of the Middle East, you have Europe and America. That's where we're headed. The left. We're headed to the left. Okay. And then you have the extreme left and you have the extreme right. You have the middle left and the middle right. Can you imagine that? Okay. Anyway, those are political distinctions. Is with a train line running similarly northwards. Okay. So we're done with 1962. So after 23 years, notable changes had occurred. Past perfect tense occurred there. First, with the widening of the access road in Meadowside. Okay, so we mentioned that road for the second time, so it now has to be the in Meadowside, uh, where a housing estate sprouted to the west, fronted by and again there's that a superstore there across the road, and going north, a leisure complex was built there. Mm, Apart from this, an access road. So it's the first time we will mention this road connecting Meadowside and Fonton. So this is now like EDSA there. Oh. Or this is like Las Piñas. And this is like Makati. And that's SLEX. Oh. That's Skyway Stage 3. Oh. Okay. We I don't even hear a courtesy laugh. Apart from this, an access road was built connecting Meadowside and Fonton accordingly. There. Okay, that's it. That's the end of that map. And then now, at present, there, in the present time, okay, let's just copy paste that over here. So are there any questions? Let's fix this later, guys. In the present time, there, in the present time, it is now evident that mm, that Meadowside has profited from the developments in Fonton. Like, for example, in Baguio City, we can now see the impact in Trinidad, no? Because Baguio has become so cosmopolitan, rich, tourist destination. We can now see what happened to Trinidad. Trinidad is also reaping the benefits from that there. Okay. has profited from the developments in Funton, uh, as can be seen with the establishment of a business park along the access road, uh, and a train station. Mm, uh, to the north there, linking. Why isn't Anna Camilo in this class? Okay, linking with Fonton City. Okay, can you see these pop-ups? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh,
Your
okay.
secret.
Okay. She was talking about her difficulties. No. Linking with Fonton City. Behind the train station, since I mentioned it for the second time, so it now becomes the A hotel. Was uh, mm, ideally tama na, Camille. Can you just stop it? Hotel was now is now ideally situated there. Okay, that's it. That's the end of it. Let's just fix the. Okay, I recommend guys that you do this slowly. Like you just Google all the process task or maps that you can find, and then just create an essay slowly. That's always the strategy. We always go slow. Do you follow?
184.
184 words. Okay. There. So I'll just fix the. Okay. There. So like if we go to there. Okay. Let's just keep that there. If we go to, for example, okay, how do you create a new tab? Mm, Control. Wait. How do I create a new tab? Wait.
Just click the plus sign, sir.
Okay, there's something.
On the
Okay.
very top, sir.
Yeah, but there's this. It's the what do you call it? It's the icons for Zoom that's standing. Anyway, I'll just use this one. Okay, how much COVID, how much COVID exposed matters there. Okay. So let's like Google something like IELTS, mm, IELTS task one writing maps there. Okay. And if you notice in the maps, we use a lot of directional language. So in maps, you'll have to pretend that you're describing the map to a blind person who cannot see anything. So through the power of your words, the reader is now able to visualize what the map looks like there. So, for example, in speaking, like there's the hometown question, like could you tell me about your hometown, and then you go like Kidapawan is a city. Is that a city?
Yes, city, sir. Philippines is a
City
city.
in Cagayan de Oro province, which is a province located north of Mindanao Island, which is an island that is at the south of the Philippine archipelago. Can you imagine how descriptive, right?
Mm-mm.
You prepare for the hometown question, guys. Here. Like, can you tell me about your hometown? Baguio City is actually a city located 1,500 meters above sea level. You're like an encyclopedia. Okay, so let's look at this thingy there. So let's isolate these nominals. Okay, so those are the implications of the nominal flaws. Okay, it doesn't want to open image in new tab. Oh, there it is. It's so small. Okay, this is EDSA. There, you see that? This is Guadalupe Bridge. This is Pasig River with sailboats. This is Rockwell. And then this one is like Pasig Industrial Zone. And this is like Ortigas. I love how we can relate it. And then this is like Mandaluyong. And that's Wak Wak. Wak Wak Golf Club. Okay, so but this is not a process. We will just describe it for one time. So all of these are generalized there. So small roadside inns. What kind of article do we use for this?
A small
AN or
roadside
zero?
inn.
AN
A.
or
A
AN or
small
zero?
roadside inns.
Sige, go go go.
A small roadside inns.
Okay, so small roadside inns is a plural. So we cannot use A or an, right?
No article.
No article, zero article. So these are like in Guadalupe, the Sogo, Hotel Sogo in Guadalupe. And then trees. What kind of articles?
No article.
No article.
Zero.
Arlington Road.
The Arlington Road.
The,
Mm, it's a proper noun, so
The,
no article.
no article.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just think of your names, guys, like Faith. Faith is a name, right? Or Vic, or Far Niza. You cannot,
nicer.
yeah, there. Uh, when we add the to proper nouns, that only happens when the proper noun becomes an adjective. So the Farnisa essay or the Vic output. Have you seen the Vic output there? But proper nouns generally zero article. In a housing estate two, A and zero.
Housing estate.
Zero.
The housing estate. Where's that? Housing
Zero.
If
estate.
you mention it for the first time,
A.
A housing estate two. Thames River,
The Thames.
No.
No
the
article.
Thames River, the
Zero.
the the Pasig River. Oh my dayon. Diba,
Ah,
Faith, that was one of the things that you mentioned for rivers, the
Oh.
Thames River. But if you notice in the map, there is no the. So the language in a map is different from the language in an essay. Is that clear? You follow, you follow.
Yes, sir.
Do not copy paste. It's a trap. That's why we call these nominal traps, because you were trapped into copy pasting, thinking that the language you see here is the correct language. Do not forget the language in an illustration is different from the language in an essay. Steel bridge,
A.
a
A is
steel
still
bridge, a steel bridge.
still beach.
Industrial zone, industrial zone,
The.
An
and
an
industrial
an
zone.
industrial zone.
And then this one, industrial staff quarter. Oh, these are the condominiums along Boni Serrano.
Mm.
I don't know if you're familiar with EDSA. What article? We remember the difference between A and an is we use A for nouns that begin with a consonant or a consonant sound, and then we use an for nouns that begin with a vowel or a vowel sound. So an industrial staff quarter, an industrial staff quarter. This one is a housing estate, and this one is
A field.
A
a
field.
field. There. Okay, let's look at some more examples. There, I want to drill the. When I was teaching in James, Vic has to go by 6:10. He has a duty at 7. So, okay, Vic, you just catch up with the recording. Okay. All right. It's okay, Vic. Go ahead. And then, okay. So again, Vic, this will be uploaded over YouTube. Oh my God, what is this? Lots of Lakeside 2000, Lakeside 2009. Oh, okay, lots of nominals. So this is like a comparison over time.
Sir, question.
Yeah, Jack.
So, again, if you say nominals, ito yung mga naka para silang noun sa picture. Pero when you're writing them, you have to parang move them na hindi sila capitalized. Tama ba?
Yeah, the only things you capitalize are proper nouns.
Proper
Right.
nouns. Okay. Okay.
Even in the map, if the illustration capitalizes, like look at this. Oh, what a trapper! Like all the nominals were capitalized. IELTS, because the language in a map is really different from the language in an essay.
Mm.
So, but when you write that in an essay, that's where it came out. Okay. When you write it in an essay, the rules suddenly change. So, for example, this one, okay, Stokeford 2020. So, a span of 20 years. So, can you imagine how they capitalize all of those? Bridge, farmland, primary school, gardens, large house, shops, post office, all of them should not be capitalized in an essay because you only capitalize proper nouns like Stokeford there. And then what's the name of the river? River Stoke. There, River Stoke. Those are the only proper nouns. Is that clear, guys? How nasty, right? But if you see all of these nominals here, they're all capitalized. But in an essay, no. Okay. So, bridge. What's the article for bridge?
The bridge.
But
Or, sorry.
initial
A bridge.
citation. A bridge. Farmland.
Farmland.
Farmland now, guys, is a mass noun. So,
Okay.
land,
Oh,
soil, ground, there. Like we don't say a ground or a soil or a land there. Like I want to buy a land. What you should say is I want to buy land there. So there's always a trapper, right? Primary school,
A primary
a
school.
primary school, shops,
Shops.
No article.
no.
Just shops.
Nagyosi ako dumating ang aking roommate. Yan, shops. What's the article for shops?
No article.
No article because it's a plural. Post office,
The post
the
office or
post
a
office.
post
first
office.
citation.
A post office.
A post office. Gardens,
A garden.
A garden.
plural.
No
No
article.
Gardens, no,
Garden.
No,
article.
no article.
no article. Large house,
Uh,
first citation, first citation.
The.
First time you
large
mentioned a large house.
house.
Large house.
There, Vic has left us there. And then houses,
No article.
no article. River Stoke,
The river
the
Stoke.
River Stoke. And Stokeford, just Stokeford. And then now when you mention them again, then You now have the the
The post
bridge
office.
has not
The
changed.
bridge.
And then guys, when you mention
The
maps, you begin at a certain point of reference. Like for example, if you want to
Mm,
start from the north, or do you want to start from the
mm,
south, and then you just describe things as you pass them by there. If you notice in the listening test, whenever there is a map, they always begin from a certain point of reference there. Okay. So, for example, the gardens, when you mention this, the gardens has been transformed into what?
a retirement
A
home.
retirement home. And the primary school has been expanded there. And then the houses here, the houses um, multiplied, have
multiply.
multiplied, and they slaughtered all the cows
To buy farmland.
to buy.
Now
the,
house
the cows have disappeared. This is like
to buy house and lot, sir.
yeah, to buy that. Yeah, because they transformed the farmland into a subdivision. Let's read the
Kami
model
lang.
answer. Yeah. This is like Cavite before and Cavite now. Okay. The maps depict the transformation of structural development in the town called Stokeford, somewhere in the range of 2000 and 2020. A fast look at the maps show that in 2000, Stokeford village had less houses and expanded ranches. However, later, quick lodging improvement.
Sir, can we put a comma in 2000? A fast look at
Yeah,
the
we
map
should.
shows that
Yeah,
in
yeah,
2000.
we should. Yeah. Stokeford Village, as observed, located east of the Stoke River, corresponding to the stream. Oh my God. The fundamental street, oh my God, has connected with a bridge to the farthest northeast of the town in the two maps. In 1930, the town had a couple of houses on either roadside, two shops towards the west of the street, and a post office. What's more, towards the east of this town was an elementary school, a huge garden, and a connection between the road and bridge. Two huge farmland. Do you notice how the writer did not have any article for that? Two huge
Mhm.
farmland were very noticeable in the underlying guide, which later vanished. What a nice piece of writing.
Underlying guide.
The underlying guide. In 2020, the map shows that the post office, extension, and grade school stayed immaculate.
Charot. Immaculate.
Like the Virgin Mary. In any case, the school building was extended. You see how it interplays, right? The shops vanished, and understanding was made with a considerable lot of its trees to make all the more lodging offices in the garden. The bigger house was transformed into a retirement home. Retirement home was mentioned for the first time with some extension in its structure. In addition, there was a noteworthy increment in the number of houses, and these houses were based on previous fields and gardens. You now realize how bad nine writing looks like, guys. Overall, while the main road as well as River Stoke, this should have been capitalized, remained the same, the agricultural land was replaced by large-scale residential development. So nice. I want to copy paste this. There. Band 9 language. But what you can see is Still, the interplay of the articles. We first use the general articles and then later we use the definite article. Okay. So I'll just fix everything, guys. And I really recommend you go to the internet. There are a lot of resources in the internet. My God, what writing? Damn. This makes me feel so
Overall on the
insecure.
main road as well as
What's that question? So there are some errors, but even with these errors, this would still score a band 9. There's just that comma over there, and then the mistake in the capitalization of reverse stoke.
Riverstoke.
There, there. River Stoke. Pasig River. There. Okay, they should call it the Marikina River because it actually came from Marikina. No, they should call it the. Mm, they should call it the mm, Rizal River because it came from Rizal. So how do we? Okay, we snip it, guys. Let's just snip this thing. Okay, snipping tool there. Learned a lot, guys.
Yes,
Opo,
sir.
sir.
So
The
we'll
example
just.
you
Yes.
made, sir, I
Mhm.
I've read my essay a year ago.
Who's this? Who's this?
Maya, same yung map, the one that you gave, the example, the one that you made.
Oh,
Tapos
you
din,
mean Meadowside?
yeah, the middle side, and it's like, what an essay.
Oh, you still have it.
Yeah, because nobody checked this. I made like I think
Mm,
three no, 10 essays. Mm,
wow.
rewrite it kasi walang nag-check. So, yun, nabasa ko ngayon ang layo ng ginawa mo.
So Maya, you will actually be assigned this map towards the 12th round there.
Opo.
So there, so you will be able to produce a better output
Yeah,
there.
I've
So,
learned a lot today. Thank you, thank you.
yeah, the article's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Sir,
then,
question.
yeah, sige, go ahead, check. I'm just fixing the document, guys, so I can send it back to you.
Sir, on the last email you wrote to me, I can't see the prompt.
Which one was that?
The old buildings. You said, please do the assigned prompt below on old buildings, but
Ah, I
I
don't have
can't
it.
find it. Yeah, if
Oh,
you can
okay.
include it. I don't think
Okay.
the attachments do, but wala din.
Which one? Which one?
Yung last prompt on our last trail. Kasi you said, please do the last, please do the prompt on old buildings and then
Yeah.
open and close parentheses. Open and close quotation. Tapos, I can't see the last prompt. Nowhere in the email. Baka you can
Okay.
send it.
Yeah. Okay. Sige.
All right.
Mm, I wonder why. No? Weird. Oh, that kind of happens quite often. People say, "Sir, I didn't see the,"
Mm-hmm.
and then I could swear I sent it. And then anyway.
Paste na
Okay.
lang. Dun
Yeah.
sa chat natin. That should be fine.
Yeah. Third sample. And then, guys, you just raid the internet for more really good. Wow, that essay. There, Hannah has to go. It's okay, Hannah. And Stephanie has to go. Today is the anniversary of my parents. Okay.
Ooh.
Happy anniversary to your parents, Steph. Okay, if you're still there. Okay. So that's it. We were supposed to discuss another lesson, which are the trappers. So maybe we'll just move that na lang, guys. I think everybody's tired already. And I think this is already
Sir, I have
too much information. Is there a question? Wait,
sir, I
wait lang,
have a
guys. Ah.
question.
Hold on. 5 seconds. Hold on.
5, 4, 3, 2, One. Eh.
Okay. So,
Oy,
Yan na.
sakto. We
wait, wait,
counted
wait.
you down. Oh, extension.
Okay. Mm, then I think we can stop the recording already. Okay. There.
Sir, I
Other.
have a
Yeah,
question.
go ahead. Go ahead.
In a writing numbers, sir, I remember sa thesis namin sa college, sabi nung nag-edit, if you
Numbers.
write a number in how do you say, one digit, you should spell it out. Is it applicable also sa
Yeah, yeah,
academic?
yeah. That's a good question. Uh, because when I was in masteral class, we also had academic writing. So the rule is from wait, wait, wait. I'll just writing workshop, and then ayun, the perfect tense is over there. Oh. Okay, let's make a new folder, nominals, and then I will send this to you. So the rule is nominalization. There. Okay. Then where did it go? The rule is who was that who asked the question?
Maya.
Si Maya. Okay.
Oh,
The rule is from uh number 1 to 13. You should spell it out
okay.
there. So like, but if it's 14 and above, look at this there.
Mm-hmm.
These you should now numeralize it.
Mm,
Okay, that's it. Um, there 23 years there. Let's look at the model answer. Mm, so for example, for the years there, of course you should numeralize it in 2000 over there. And then like a couple of houses in a post office. There's no other number that was used, but that's the rule, Maya.
okay po. Salamat,
There.
sir.
Mm, that's it. Anyway, it's a simple rule. Okay. Because, some people, they kind of spelled out 2000. I don't think that's going to work. Okay. All right. So, wait, I'm going to stop the recording. Hold on.